Gonna do it. Twitch.tv / Captain Reboot. It's named wrong, but I see myself. I can hear myself. Weird echoes are happening. It's now muted. Okay. I think that looks right. Cool. And right now, the part of Joey is being played by Nextblade. And figure that out in a moment. Nice. So, welcome. And who am I getting an echo from? Hello. Oh, now I'm not getting an echo. Saw it that time.
It looked like it was from Telaise.
Not sure. Okay. But as we move forward here, let's do a little bit of catch-up because we do have new people coming in. And as people hop into the Twitch stream and start giving me feedback, let me know if my voice is too loud or too soft, or any of the players are too loud or too soft. And I will get that dialed in over the next couple of minutes. But we have a adventuring group comprised of 7 orphans from the Warren of Unwanted Burdens. They started out way down south in the Sword Coast.
Way down south.
Way down there. In an area known as Greenest. Ba-dum-bum. Now, in Greenest, there was an orphanage, and that orphanage was the Warren of Unwanted Burdens, and it was run by a turtle named Glumfellow Prose. He is a worshiper of Shar, and raises the orphans to do all sorts of horrible stuff. 7 disappointments were raised as they have managed somehow to come up on the heroic side of things.
Excuse you?
I mean, still doing hero work. Evil as you are, you still did good deeds. Just, you failing them. So, from the town of Greenest, they traveled northward and made their way to El Terrell, battling dragons and cultists and ogres and all sorts of nonsense. In El Terrell, they were employed by several factions to go and deal with this cultist threat, to follow the money, as it were, making their way north along the Sword Coast, through Baldur's Gate, up the Coast Way, up the Trade Way, all the way through Waterdeep, and on and on and on, and eventually to the Mere of Dead Men, a swamp, where they discovered the cultists' hideaway, or so they may have thought. Within the hideaway, a teleportation circle allowed them to transport to a small refuge in the mountains. From there, they discovered treasure was being ferried, or wagoned, down into town, where a large flying castle, located on an iceberg, was docked. They, we're going to say snuck aboard, but it was a little more brazen than that, and talked their way into a ride. The castle lifted off. The party started dealing with some cultists. Hijinks happened. Dragons were killed. Giants were killed. And unfortunately, Coffins were dropped. Bits of dragon were dropped. There was a lot of there was pennies.
Lots of dropping.
Lots of things happened. But the ending point of that was the castle crashing way up north, pretty much as far north as you can get, in the spine of the world, just a bit north of Mirabar. Now, the castle was full of a great deal of treasure, some of which the adventuring party has tucked away secretly, some of which has been returned to the visiting dignitaries that have rushed to the scene. Now, among everything that's happened, one of the orphans, Valandra, has discovered some information about her mother. That her mother is still alive. Perhaps there was a little bit of drama towards the end of that one. and that her mother is caught up with a red wizard of Thay. Now, the red wizards are well known for dabbling in the darkest of dark arts and being led by a lich, a wizard of immense power and undead nature. It seems that some of the red wizards of Thay are working with the cultists to bring about the return of Tiamat, the dragon goddess of chromatic dragons, i.e. the evil one. The powers that be have let the party know that a meeting will be held next spring to decide how best to address the cult threat, likely to raise an army and march against them. At the moment, though, there's some trouble. The cultists have gone from gathering gold and gems and jewels to gathering people. So kidnappings are on the rise. Along with that, some rather important magical artifacts have been stolen. 3 magical items, intelligent, with personality. It seems the cultists were trying to throw people off the scent by blaming the theft on Caraptus. Research indicates that Caraptus was a mage several thousand years ago who got up to hijinks in an area just north and east of Neverwinter Woods, near Mount Hotnow. A rather curious poem was delivered, which, after some deliberation, the authorities believe points to White Plume Mountain, a volcanic mountain in the range of Mount Hotnow, though not as active as some others, known primarily for its white plume of steam. We'll get into that in a little bit. Right now, I know that Valandra and Telaise are interested in stopping over at Mithril Hall to purchase some equipment. And Mithril Hall is located to the south and east of the Lurkwood, as well as visiting White Plume Mountain to retrieve the weapons over by the town of Oakhurst, near Mount Hotnow. That was all sort of discussed while the party was split up, and now that they've had a chance to reconvene and figure out what's going on, Waverly and Dawn need to weigh in. And a request by Telaise and Valandra seems to have borne fruit, as another person is potentially joining the party, or at least for this endeavor to White Plume Mountain. So before we turn it over to you guys, I'm going to ask for a sort of out-of-character summary. Jacob, who are you? And what you doing?
Okay, well, the character that I'm playing tonight is Mord Telamon, a dwarven barbarian of the totemic variety. He has been a mercenary in the Lord's Alliance for probably a good few months now, and is, once he heard of the the quest to find these weapons to help stop the horde of, or the Dragon Queen, felt like it was in the best interest of the people of the world to go gather them.
Makes sense.
Right. Oh.
Uh-oh.
There we go.
Right. So, now Mord has offered to assist with the recovery of the weapons, as they can be used against the minions of Tiamat and the extraplanar creatures that are suspected to be summoned. What of Waverly and Dawn? How do you guys feel about this questing business.
This is important. This is very important. So we're gonna keep doing this.
Seems reasonable.
Yeah, even like as self-serving as Dawn is, and like he has his own like agendas on things, like a dragon goddess would probably hinder those things.
They are
Can't
known
take
to get
over
in the
the
way
world
of
if
things.
Tiamat beats me to it.
Kind of.
Right.
But yeah, the most how long has it been? And I've been away, so I kind of missed a bit.
No problem.
Body stuff.
So really, we've only been a few minutes to hours since the crash of the Sky Castle. So we have not really lost any time. The treasure is being gathered, being moved around, all that sort of stuff is happening.
Well, Dawn needs to go buy a bunch of special ink, and he has a bunch of scrolls that he wants to go through and put in his book. So he'll follow to where I guess like if they're going to Mithril Hall or Mirabar first, wherever, just to get that stuff going.
Sounds
I mean, they
good.
just fell out of the sky, so everything's kind of like up in the air, only not. But,
I mean,
so-
that's
so
very fair.
it's a bit chaotic at the moment. He's saying, like, I'm alive. A+. Just trying to figure out where to go now. I mean, he's still technically like half melted, and that's not going to change really. I don't think at this point.
No, it might take a little
But,
bit for you to recover some fur.
So, yeah.
All right. So, excuse me as I'm distractedly tinkering, trying to get things to show up here. Mord, we've got you covering over Joey, but I'm not sure if your circle's showing up yet. We'll figure out about that in a little bit. And Twitch stream, we will get that straightened out. Stupid red tape does take forever. So, let's do a little reading and stuff here. Part of that reading is going to be this. The Lord's Alliance provides you with a barbarian to assist you, and they also give you a copy of a note. And the note reads, "Search ye far or search ye near, you'll find no trace of the three, unless you follow instructions clear, for the weapons abide with me. North past forest, farm, and furrow, you must go to the feathered mound. Then down away from sun you'll burrow, forget life, forget light, forget sound. To rescue wave you must do battle, with beast in the boiling bubble. Crossed cavern vast, where chain links rattle, lies whelm past waterspouts double. Black razor yet remains to be won, underneath inverted ziggurat. Though garnered, think not that you're done, for now you'll find you are caught. I care not, former owners brave, what heroes you seek to hire. Though mighty, I'll make each my slave, or send him to the fire." The note is signed with the symbol of the wizard Caraptus. Now, along with that, you're fairly certain you know where to go. From Mirabar, west. It'd be nice if I showed you guys what I was talking about. From Mirabar, west towards Luskin. About halfway, an old road breaks the way to the south, skirting along the crags, toward the town of Oakhurst. Once in Oakhurst, you can catch a small amount of rest, and then head east through a small division in the crags to where White Plume Mountain resides. Valandra and Telaise have indicated an interest. Let's go a little bit east out of the way to stop by Mithril Hall and do a bit of shopping. There are, of course, other towns along the way, so I'll turn it over to you guys to talk a little strategy about what you might like to do and how you might like to do it. It's about a week's travel to get down to Oakhurst. It'd be at about a week out and a week back to go from Mirabar to Mithril Hall and back again. What all would you guys like to do? And feel free to go in character or out of character as you need, because this is kind of our session 0 as we figure out what's going on.
One thing I was figuring out, this is not quite related to that, but just since the party is splitting up, and we have the bag of holding with all the gold and silver in it.
Sure. I mean, it seems like it ended up with the right crew, so...
By we, I'm holding it, Waverly.
Can I touch it?
Waverly
No.
sleeps in that
Don't
bag.
touch my bag. Don't touch my fancy bag. Don't do
I
it.
just want to see it.
No.
But so if I figure we wanted to make sure that Joey, Chloe, and Dusk had the right amount of treasure, so we probably wanted to shift some of the portable treasure to them, since we have the non-portable stuff in portable form. So if everyone would, you've all added the 6,258 to your sheet, have you guys? Yet that was the portable treasure that we split up among us.
No, I
I
haven't.
did not, because
Okay.
I don't think we
Okay.
I don't think we
Yeah.
specified exactly how much everyone was getting.
Okay.
Yeah.
If no one's done that yet, that's perfect, because then I can just give you the new figure that's our amount, and that's the portable stuff that we have, and then we also have a bunch more stuff in the bag of holding. But so our share of the portable treasure is 3,636 gold worth.
3,000.
3636.
Each?
Yep.
Wow.
Dang.
Jesus.
And then we've got like 25,000 gold in the bag of holding. That's split between the 4 of us now, and the rest of them have nearly 10,000 in the portable stuff.
We probably can't make change for this into platinum, right? Because
Sure.
ours.
You definitely can. So you will have time during your travels, and you will be passing through Mirabar and other places to do some money changing. You're probably not going to do it in Mirabar, since you're just walking away from a giant hoard of gold that you probably shouldn't have been picking too much from. You might wait till you get to another town, but we can hand wave that.
Okay, because it's easier to write it on the sheet
Yep.
if it's a lower number.
Feel free to
Well,
condense that down.
put me over my carrying capacity.
Feel free to
So,
condense that down.
There's like a bag in the bag of holding that says this is Waverly's share, right?
Yes.
Sure.
Yes,
Sure.
Telaise has a bag for Waverly, and it has Waverly written on it in Sharpie.
I mean, how much is almost 4,000 coins away? Because I think that's going to be rough on everybody.
If you convert it, it's so much easier. If you convert it
Yeah.
to platinum, it's so much
Well,
easier.
yes.
Yeah, you'll be carrying it in platinum, so go ahead and plug it in platinum for yourselves, and we'll assume you found ways to carry it. And later on, we may talk about what you convert to gems or other such items, but for right now, we can hand wave that.
Oh god, what is that in platinum?
300 and
363 platinum and 6 gold. You just move the decimal place.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yep. By tens.
Divide it by 10.
I can never remember the conversion, ever.
math. I ignore it. Add with the platinum I have. Calculator. This is lots of monies.
It is a fair amount of monies. Now, unfortunately, your new friend didn't come with lots of monies. He just came with his basic equipment. So if you would like to do anything for your new friend, you certainly may. Now, new friend, I will ask a quick question. You are associated with the Lord's Alliance, but are you nobility yourself?
I think at one point he was close to nobility, but he took a few too many cracks to the head and got a nasty temper.
Just kind of forgot who your parents were, and there went the chance at nobility. Got it.
Exactly.
All right.
Aw, he's almost an orphan like we are. Aw.
Yes, my plan to insinuate myself with the group worked.
All right. So, now, I did mention a shopping trip, and I know that some were interested in heading over to Mithril Hall to upgrade some equipment, purchase some magic items for ridiculous sums of money. Would they like to do that before or after going to White Plume Mountain?
I mean, if we're gonna upgrade, we should probably do that.
Yeah, it feels like
But
the
it's
kind
very
of thing.
far. Like, is this something that can wait 2 weeks to like do?
It depends because I mean, Valandra was you were just gonna buy your armor, right? You were just gonna straight up buy it. You weren't gonna commission anything. You're just gonna straight up buy it.
I was just gonna buy it.
Okay. I mean, it would be really nice if she had that mithril armor because then she can sneak with the rest of us.
Like, could that be
in the dungeon?
Could that be bought in Mirabar? Because Mithril Hall.
No.
No. We talked about that last week
because it has to be in Mithril Hall.
We could go further south.
It's the +1 mithril armor that she's trying to buy, and that's not common. And Mithril Hall is basically the only place nearby that would have it, because Mithril's right in the name.
It is right in the name.
And when we inquired in Mirabar about acquiring Mithril, people spat on the ground.
I mean, it's for froofy elves and such. No real dwarf or man would wear Mithril. Can't you?
Pretty sure the dwarfs are gonna wear Mithril all day long.
Can't you lift your own armor? Make it out of slag iron. So, yeah, there's some argument there, but there's a little bad blood between the group of dwarves that hole up in Mirabar and those that live in Mithril Hall. It goes back a ways, but basically boils down to gold.
Yeah, I forgot about that. They got all pissy when Mithril Hall started selling shit again.
They did indeed. So there is a little bit of argument available there, but you can definitely make the trip. Let's say this: you could definitely set out on the trip. Whether you make it or not could depend on some random rolls that we might be doing, but the time sensitivity doesn't seem too extreme. The Alliance is not intending to meet for almost a year. You've got basically the rest of summer into fall, all of winter, and then they want to get together right at the beginning of spring again. So you've got several months of stuff, but Valandra's got some other stuff that might be of a timely nature going on. Her mother has been taken into the clutches of the Red Wizards of Thay, and we have a lead indicating that she has something to do with the Oasis of the White Palm, located far to the east, along the Black Road and into the desolate wastelands, where the Desert of Desolation sits. But before then, they were thinking maybe they could help out here, get a little bit more stuff together before they set out. They've got lots of money, but they could use a little more magic in their lives.
Yeah, I mean, I think it makes sense to do the armor first. in terms of that's really going to help with the dungeon. But
Okay.
Yeah.
Are we passing through Mirabar? We're in Mirabar.
So you would be heading from where the castle crashed up here in the spine of the world down to Mirabar. From Mirabar, the most common way to get there would be a south, cut across if you're feeling risky, and head there. You could do the long way down and over and back up again along the rivers, but down and across would be the way you'd be thinking most of the time.
This way, we're definitely going to run into possibly some danger.
There could be some danger. I mean, there's a place called the Lurkwood. Perhaps things wait
but what
there.
if we go under the Lurkwood?
I mean, if you go under the Lurkwood, I mean, it's lurking just above you. I mean...
That's not how forests work.
Yeah, forests can't come lower.
Okay, you think so, but it right there, it's lurking. It's the Lurkwood.
the forest of Fangorn. Why is it moving?
I think we're in the wrong world.
I mean, there's a sparkly one over here, glimmers. But yes, the Lurkwood is up there. Now you do know the crags themselves are home to orcs and goblins aplenty. Down in the fiery range of mountains where Mount Hotnow is, there are legends and rumors of dragons and fire giants. The road itself, reasonably safe if you stick to it and move quickly in large parties. Cutting across, goblins, spiders, the like. Nothing that would, trouble a experienced adventuring party just fresh off the kill of a white dragon and crashing castles. I mean, how could that possibly endanger you? So if that does sound like the plan, then I need to ask for the first rolls of the evening. Whoop.
Question first.
Sure.
While we're passing through Mirabar, can I get Dawn wants ink for the travels to copy spell scrolls into his book?
Yes, absolutely.
I will calculate that once I untangle my headphone cord. Oh no, I'm stuck. But yeah, that's really all he wanted.
Got it. And you guys should see over in your character sheet area a new handout, the note and poem, which you have penned by, it says, the Wizard Caraptus, but who believes such things? Now.
And
actually, while we're in Mirabar, I'm going to pick up some health potions.
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah.
They can
Also,
easily
are
be
we
obtained.
walking? Are we getting a cart? Are we getting horses? What do?
Good question.
do we know when we cut across here?
Mhm.
Is that terrain easily
Horses,
easily
yes.
traversed?
Horses, yes. Cart, probably not.
Horseable?
Okay.
I don't really see a reason to take a cart because we're not.
We don't
I
have
mean,
a 10,000 things that we're carrying with us.
We
Yeah,
have a
and-
bag of holding.
Yeah, and we're trying to make this as swift as possible, and the cart will actually slow us down.
Yep.
Sounds good. So if you guys would like to bring horses with you, please make sure everybody deducts the cost of a horse. And then you have a horse.
Yay!
How much is a horse?
It is one horse.
One horse worth.
One horse worth.
Regular
Very
potions are,
helpful. Thank
regular
you.
potions are 50 gold.
I need a riding
Yes.
dog.
A riding dog. So
Although,
a mastiff, which is the riding dog, would be 25 gold. A pony, which is the upgraded version, would be 30. A riding horse, 75 gold. A war horse, 400 gold.
We're just riding.
How heavy is Waverly?
She's 2 feet
Negative.
tall. Like she's,
That's not what I asked. I asked how heavy she was.
I don't know.
About as much as a cat, maybe.
So why
They're
don't
about, they're about 2 feet long.
Why
A
don't-
big cat. A big cat.
she could easily ride double. We wouldn't have to have Waverly on her own mount if we're trying to save money.
That's true, but where would Waverly put all their treasure?
I've got a bag of holding.
Maybe I want a dog, okay?
I mean...
All right. Okay, Waverly. If you want to buy a dog to ride, you're paying for it out of your own money.
I can do that.
I see Waverly, like, negotiating hard, you know, like, getting this guy down to, like, 24 gold, 3 copper, you know, get to save that last few copper while you got 3,000 gold sitting in a bag. But as all that happens and you guys acquire your mounts, so anything else that we should know about that you've picked up?
Valandra will buy a mount for the dwarf.
Okay.
Oh, that's nice.
He will
I'm sorry, how much was
accept
it? How much was the...
Riding horses are 75 gold.
Oh,
War
that's it?
horses are 400.
Yeah, I don't need a war horse. Yeah, Elmar's clunky enough. And it's not even mine.
Fair deal.
You can buy health potions, but Valandra can make them, so I was thinking she was probably going to be doing that on the way anyway.
That makes sense.
That's totally fine. I just went, like, I'm buying some so that whatever you make, I have extra.
Okay.
And Dawn will aid in that to cut down the time frame of how long it would take to do.
Now, if you're going to do that on the way, we're going to need a wagon because you can't make potions on horseback.
That's true, at least not in any reasonable fashion. You
Because
can try.
that's why we had a cart the first time we set out from Greenest, was so you guys can make potions.
That's it.
Oh yeah, okay. Well, we don't have to do it on this leg of the journey. Yeah, that's fine.
Got it. So I will ask for the adventurous D20 to be rolled. We would like to not see a 17, 18, 19, or 20. A 16 is sliding right under that line. But that means you do have an uneventful and quick journey to the Mithril Hall. So, you arrive at the Mithril Hall. The dwarves there greet you. After a little bit of discussion, they allow you entry. It is a fantastic place that we'll get into detail on later, perhaps. For right now, I understand you guys are heading over to the smithy area, talking to the smiths there, dropping a few names of dwarves you know, and you go ahead and arrange for the purchase of your equipment. So please deduct the tremendous sums of money, and please add the equipment to your list. And I believe that was a +1 suit of mithril plate armor, a hanbo +1,
a +1 hanbo,
+1 hanbo.
Which I believe we use the rapier as its stat, so we'll use rapier pricing.
You got it. Rapier pricing
Rapier
and a +1
but bludgeoning?
Rapier but bludgeoning, yep.
Okay.
And then it's pointy, but she doesn't hit people with the pointy ends.
Yeah.
And is there anything else, Waverly?
Yeah,
Everybody is going to stare at Dawn for how much money he's spending on ink.
Okay.
So much gold on ink. So much.
They're probably all like, oh, magic user.
Oh, that's some wizard stuff. Yeah, we got that.
Yeah.
Mord had a serious
we got
conversation about
that.
it with his horse.
A serious conversation with his... Oh my god.
Now, by the way, Mord, as you see this happening, these don't look like your normal big spenders. We've got a wee little Mousefolk. We've got a fairly young-looking water Genasi. We've got a... Well, I'll let Telaise kind of cover that one. And then we've got a acid-washed kid. Well, I'm gonna...
I'm the most normal person in the group!
That's why I'm gonna let you handle it, because I can't think of a good way to encapsulate you without just letting you go with it. But Dawn... Oh, Dawn! Dawn looks like a hairless cat with sores and burns and just all sorts of things, because in the last few weeks, I believe this Tabaxi was dyed black, undyed, blasted with fire, blasted with acid, and possibly frozen.
Yeah, he didn't have a good day.
Yeah, there was a lot of stuff happening.
I think he avoided the frozen, actually.
Might have avoided the frozen.
Maybe. But definitely he took like the full brunt of a fireball and the full brunt of acid breath, and it just within like a day or two of each other. It was
there were several acid breaths, as I recall.
Yeah, so there's like one burnt and crispy hair sticking up from the top of the head, maybe still smoking.
I've healed your skin, but hair is dead cells, so that wouldn't come back from that.
No, he's got a lot of scars going on. He's gonna have like patches of like orange like popping up maybe every so often that he might just get rid of because it looks stupid. But
But despite this look, they are spending gold like it's just going out of style. We know that paper money's coming, so here's the gold.
Was I also able to find a +1 shield and a +1 mace?
You certainly may.
All right, and that would be, I believe, if we're going off the sane item pricing, 1,500 and 1,000.
You got it,
respectively. All right.
If I'm buying a new Hanbo, can I sell my old one?
Yes, you can. Half price.
Half price.
Yep.
On the rapier. That way I can just do the math.
Sure. Now.
Half price rounded down.
Half price rounded down. I mean, you just half price it because if it's 25 gold, then you get that many silver and copper.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, that's cool. That's fine.
Yeah. I'll sell my chainmail then because.
Sure.
It would be heavy to carry both of them.
What do you need both of them for?
That's it. So as the trade happens, the dwarves pass by. You hear a lot of grumbling, a lot of complaints about the troubles in the area, the upwelling of cultists, and you hear very spread out complaints. It's not just, those crazy dragon cultists. You're also hearing elemental cultists. You're hearing worshippers of an undead creature. You're hearing all sorts of things. It seems like it's just a dark time for the Sword Coast. There are rumors that the area around Waterdeep and Baldur's Gate have had all sorts of trouble. It's just a mess, and the longer you spend working with people and conversing with them, and as they're fitting your armor, the more of a litany of troubles that you hear coming to you. And occasionally, you hear them talking about some sort of heroes that have crashed a castle and managed to do some really good things along the way. And then you hear some stories about less savory aspects of these heroes. But we'll, let that go for now. I did sidestep describing Telaise, though. So, Telaise, would you be so kind as to describe your glory?
Okay. I don't know what you're expecting out of me, Casey.
Well, I know you've got armor that matches your eyes, and your eyes are dynamite. So, you can...
So, Telaise is a half elf. She's not exceptional. She's only like 5'8". She's not really super tall. She's got long, jet black, that kind of hair that looks like blue in certain lights. That's that kind of black. Her eyes are very deep ocean blue, and she is wearing a very fine, lovely set of leather armor that she had custom made for her, and it matches her eyes. And she's got a charisma of like friggin' 19, so she walks in like she owns the place.
She's gorgeous.
You say that she is not very tall, but remember, we are talking to a dwarf here.
I mean,
very true. I'm only 4'6", something like that.
4'8".
Now, Mord, have you
What you had written
spent
down.
have you spent a lot of time in and amongst the outside world? Where did you spend most of your career to this point? Feel free to pick a place. There is no wrong answer.
Unfortunately, I'm not terribly familiar with the setting.
Don't
here,
worry
so I
about
can't
names.
really
Just
pick
pick
a
a
place.
pick a thing you wanted to do. Were you guarding lords? Were you wrestling ogres? Were you stabbing unsuspecting villagers in the back like other people?
Just mainly war campaigns.
Okay, you got it. So deep in the Lord's Alliance territory, you have been for some time working with them, and now maybe a little bit of adventuring. If you've been in war campaigns, this might even be your first time working within a small party, it sounds like.
Yes, that is true. He
And-
has either been on his own or, part of a regiment.
Excellent. All right. So now, as the Sovereign Seven, or at least the portion of them that you have with you, are dropping loot, you do have the opportunity to move about the Mithril Hall. You collect a little bit of information, and most of it is that bad news that we talked about. Does anybody else need anything that they're going to be picking up in the Mithril Hall? Otherwise, we'll start making the way over to Oakhurst.
I just wanted to ask real quick, is it possible with the +1 shield that I bought to either have my holy symbol like attached somehow or like painted on or something?
Sure, absolutely.
Such that okay.
Oh yeah, you've got
I figure
dwarven
it's-
smiths working. They can,
All right, yeah.
You want it, they'll make it.
I'm going to actually, I'm going to go on mute. I have to step away from the computer, but I'll take my phone with me. I probably won't be saying anything for the next several minutes, so just assume I'm hanging out with you guys, okay? I'm not
Gotcha.
feeling so hot.
No problem. Feel better.
Oh, here.
Okay.
All right.
I will be okay. It is not contagious. I don't have a fever. It will pass, but I'm going to be pretty much muted, okay?
You got it. No problem.
Okay.
All right. So as things happen there, Mithril Hall, you guys have made your way through. You have made your purchases, and you're going to head back over towards Oakhurst. And as you do, if I could have that one more fateful D20, and whoever rolls it first is the winning roll. A 3 is much lower than we needed to be. So you have an uneventful trip from the Mithril Hall, back along the way, heading towards the crags, and you encounter a fellow. Now, this fellow is heading in the opposite direction from you. So you've crossed the road that heads from Long Saddle to Mirabar. You're making your way in amongst the crags, and a little
Quick
ways
question.
ahead. Yep.
I'm being annoying.
Yeah.
Because we're traveling and it's taking times. Long rests and stuff. How much time how much time do you need to actually sleep? Because I want him to be working on scribing while they're along the way, when they stop.
You can.
I forget the
You
I
can
know
definitely
there's,
get in the I believe it's 4 hours that you can spend scribing
Okay.
with these.
I'm calculating how many spells he'll actually know by the time they get, or have in the book by the time they get there.
You got it.
I'll spend, if we have 4 hours a day or something, I'll spend that on healing potions then.
Sounds good. And I see the Captain Reboots are frantically working to update the mess that I've made of the Discord overlay. So I apologize, Twitch. Things are moving around, and now we've got green circles floating a little further down. We'll get that straightened out in a minute or two here.
So how many days is the travels?
So you will have had
total?
a total of 3 weeks
Okay, that's more than
down and back again. Now, as you're making your way across, you come across a person, and that person is wearing a white, let's call it a robe, though it's more like a shapeless blanket that's just sort of draped over him. He's a big fellow, human, rotund. Let's use rotund as a word. And he's walking between 2 large oxen, and the trio of them look fairly bedraggled. He's got his head down. He doesn't look like he's a happy sort of person at the moment, but he's still several hundred yards away, You guys have good eyes and good awareness. Are you just gonna...
I can literally see them as if they were right next to me.
Can you?
Yes, I can.
That's impressive.
He has the eyes of an eagle.
Literally.
Excellent.
Wow.
I mean, it's an odd thing to keep on your person, but some people keep odd things on your person, Dawn.
Gotta have them to use them.
So, with your eyes of the eagle, you can see this fellow is wearing just that white covering. Nothing underneath, no footwear, no belts, and just sort of walking along. The oxen are similarly bare. No harness, no traces, no sign of what they might have carried at one point, save for the marks in their coats, where at one point yokes had worn them smooth and somewhat shiny. He guides the two, just tugging on their ears to keep them in line as they walk along. You can approach, of course. You can avoid. What would you guys like to do?
That's a little bit mysterious.
I think it would be in Morty's nature to approach them and at least figure out if there was some way that he could help them out. But he will kind of stare back at the group, eyeing them as if to ask if this is something that they do.
Well, we have to at least say hello to fellow travelers on the road.
Must
Yeah,
we?
Yes.
Valandra doesn't even pause. She just keeps going.
Well,
No.
Waverly will sit forward on her little dog saddle, I guess, and just wave and hello there.
And as you call greeting, you hear back, "Oh, hello." And he just keeps walking along, more or less towards you, but his head hangs back down and sort of pays attention to his feet.
Are you cold? You look like you could be cold.
And he looks back up, and he kind of leans, sort of stretches up one way, looks a little left, leans, kind of stretches. Which one of you is talking? And you realize that probably from the distance and the lay of the land, it's very unlikely he could see Waverly.
Aw. I'm sure that's her whole life, though, so.
It could certainly be.
Over here!
Ah. Hello. No, I am not cold. I wear this, it is a sign of a rite, a belief.
He's not cold, he is Russian.
He's a little.
Oh, okay, so it's a religious thing, then.
Da.
Do I know what religion that would be?
Go ahead and give me a religion check.
Ooh.
That's not a fantastic religion check. So you can think of a couple that would have rites of this nature. It could be something for penance. It could be something for starting over in life. But white robe, walking alone, you wouldn't think, oh goodness, he's trying to raise the dead. But, nothing real specific. Well, good day to you.
Good day.
Just tugs the ears of his oxen. Give him a little bit of slap on the rump to get him moving again. Moving down. Oh, and mind the path. There was a bit of food that disagreed with my ox.
Oh. We'll be careful. Thank you.
Could I have been, as soon as I noticed them casting ritually speak with animals on the way to greet them?
Ritual casting, I think, takes about 10 minutes. So you could certainly start, but he would probably have approached and maybe moved past you by that point. You could shadow him if you wanted.
No, that's fine. I just wanted to see how far away we could see them from. But
Hello.
if it's... Yeah, that's fine.
Hello.
I return.
10 minutes.
Feeling better?
10 minutes is a long time, even at a walking pace.
Fair enough.
Right.
So I was listening to everything, and I tried to type in the chat, but I don't think anyone can see me.
Oh, sorry?
It's all right. No big deal. So is this guy walking in the same direction as us?
He's walking the opposite direction. So he's coming from where you might have been headed towards.
Okay.
And he just
Maybe if he's not walking the same direction as us, I was going to offer to, if he was going to go the same way as us, I was going to be like, you want to walk with us? But he's going a different way.
heading the other direction. So he continues on with his oxen, and you guys make your way in and through, passing to the south of the crags, a little north of the mountain range, and making your way towards White Plume Mountain.
Get out of there.
No, that's where you want to go.
If we've reached White Plume Mountain, have we gotten that far? Or
you're getting close.
We've gotten the 3 weeks basically.
You've had the 3 weeks. Yep.
Okay. Valandra will hand out 1 healing potion to each person in the group, including the dwarf.
How many potions does our dwarf friend have? After that,
I assume 1.
he now has 2 because Telaise just says.
I can't hear Telaise at all.
Oh, lovely.
Oh.
Can everybody else hear me?
I can hear
you just fine. Yeah.
So do me a favor and right click on Telaise's name. See if you've got her volume turned down somehow.
You can hear the rest of us, Jacob?
I can hear the rest of you, and her not music volume. Her volume is at max, and she's not muted, so I just can't hear her.
I would say, Jacob, disconnect and reconnect real quick.
Yeah, give me a sec.
Yeah, I tried that. Apparently he can't hear me.
Yeah. Well, everyone else take a healing potion.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead and give him both of the ones that you made for Telaise because she has enough.
Okay.
She bought 5.
All
right.
She's prepared.
So, none of the players pay attention to Twitch chat because I just realized I was working in the wrong window. Don't look at Twitch. Close your eyes. Look away.
I can't look at Twitch. I can't support it anymore at the same time as this.
Good.
And it wasn't working last time, so
my plan worked then.
Couldn't even watch on Sunday. It was sad.
Look at that.
Your plan to nearly give the game away.
Nearly so close. Good news is there's a lot of the game. I was only looking at the first page.
Oh, he's typing. Is he having a hard time coming back in?
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I can't reconnect.
No.
You can do it more.
Echoing in someone.
Who's got an echo?
I'm hearing an echo when I talk. I don't know.
Oh, it's echoing through Telaise, yeah.
Someone else talk.
Hello.
Oh.
Hello.
There
we go.
Yeah.
All right.
My connection. That's why I thought it was me. That's why I left and came back again.
Well, it seems like he was definitely having other troubles, so he's relaunching.
I believe in you.
Oh,
Discord. It's been drunk recently. Don't worry, new friend. We still love you.
I'm so enamored of my new armor class, guys.
So what's it like, 25?
It jumped by 4.
Oh, if only I could wear
Can you
metal.
hear me?
Yes.
Yes, I can hear you.
Yay!
Ah.
Yay!
So
All
so
right.
Jacob, get 2 healing potions.
Because Telaise is giving you the one that Valandra made for her.
Oh boy, thank you.
All right, so party has made its way successfully across a portion of the Sword Coast and arrived near White Plume Mountain. It stands alone in a vast area that once was a great swamp, but now is covered in dust and ash. The mountain is a little ways apart from the rest of the volcanic chain, and a plume of steam geysers from its top constantly. Dry thickets surround the area, and a single habitable cave called the Dead Knoll's Eye Socket
Lovely.
is indicated as the best place to leave your horses.
This sounds like a trap.
It's the weirdest, most specific thing I've ever heard.
If you wish to bring them with you for the last leg of the journey. If not, you can of course leave the horses in Oakhurst, and the innkeeper will be happy to take care of them for a small, reasonable fee. If you do,
What would be that?
But I
Oh,
just got my
yeah.
puppy.
negligible for you guys. So, a couple of copper. Hand waveable.
I feel like it's better to leave them in Oakhurst.
I don't want my new puppy to die.
Yeah.
I mean, you can bring the puppy with you. It's just, if you give me a puppy, I'm probably gonna kick it.
Yeah, I know. I
Don't you
don't.
Use your own legs.
We know by now.
Yeah, I don't trust you.
We've learned.
All right. White Plume Mountain itself is an almost perfectly conical volcanic hill formed from an ancient, slow lava leakage. It's about 1,000 yards in diameter at the base and rises about 800 feet above the surrounding land. The white plume that gives the mountain its name is a continuous geyser that spouts from the very summit of the mountain, another 300 feet into the air, trailing off to the east under the prevailing winds like a great feather. That's pretty much the only water in the area, though. The rest is dry desert, ashen, and barren. From the camping area in the Dead Knoll's Eye Socket, you can see a path leading up to an entrance on the cave, known as the Wizard's Mouth. It's called this because the cave seems to breathe, exhaling a large cloud of steam and then slowly inhaling it before puffing it back out again. Each cycle takes about 30 seconds, and as you draw closer, because that is the way you wish to go, you can hear a whistling noise coming from it. Inside, a large cavern with a metal grate in the floor at the far end. It's damp, hot, sticky, and constantly the wind blows back and forth. So as you might guess, your hair is a mess. Well, most of
Oh,
yours.
Mord's hair was already a mess.
Mord, it's just giving you that blow-dried look, and then the wet look, and then the blow-dried look, and the wet look as it comes in and out.
My hair does not get the blow-dried look.
That's true. Valandra
Valandra's
looks
hair is fine.
always wet. So, cave is about 8 feet across, 40 feet long, and towards the very back, that big metal grate, just waiting for someone to try and open it and delve into the depths of the mountain. Would someone like to try and open it?
I will give that a shot. I
Sure.
believe this seems to be more up my
Do-
alley.
Yeah,
Should-
can Valandra assist?
May certainly assist. And Twitch chat, you're not telling me that you can't see the roll screen here. What did I do wrong? Done horrible things.
Oh, there we go.
All right, so please
athletic.
make me a... Well, have you got anything that you could argue you're doing athletically, other than just ripping this out with brute strength?
No, I guess I can't.
Okay. So by the way, since you haven't played with me yet, feel free to get creative. If you can give me a good argument as to why you're allowed to do a thing, I'm probably going to say yes. Try and sound confident. That's really the trick to get things past me.
Gotcha.
So, but if we don't have any ideas, just rip that thing up.
For example, Waverly never climbs, she parkours.
She does parkour quite a bit.
Quite
I cast
successfully.
guidance.
She's very good at parkour.
Hardcore
And
parkour.
now for rolling, is there a way to just click on the boxes
Yep.
in the character sheet?
So if you click on strength, it should roll your strength for you.
So before
I think
before you
I
do that,
opened it
go
in
up to the
window.
top and click advantage.
Yep, I got that. I think it's
Okay.
because I opened it in a separate window.
Oh,
once-
okay.
Come on, strength, I believe in you.
And I did say I cast guidance.
Yep, I heard the guidance.
Okay.
Fighting with you?
Yeah, it's not letting me click
Click
in
the
box,
word.
per
Click
se.
the words. Click
Uh,
the word strength.
Yeah. It's the word at the top, not the...
There we go.
There we go.
All right, a 13 strength roll. So you get up there, you get your dwarf
16.
on, and you feel a little bit of the guidance of Eldath coming through you, being like, no, you want to grab over here. But still not quite enough. Showing off. But maybe another attempt would be needed.
Does anyone have like a crowbar or something?
I have a crowbar.
Boy, that would have
Would
been
that-
handy to know just a few seconds ago.
I don't know, you guys seem to be doing so well.
Because that would have been another
I mean-
athletics check then, as opposed to a strength check.
Here, did you guys want to borrow my crowbar?
Let's try it again with the crowbar.
Let's have Valandra do it,
You seem to be doing well. I wasn't going to
Wait.
interfere.
with Mord helping.
Okay. I mean, Mord seems stronger than me, but sure.
Is he stronger than you?
Yeah.
Okay, then have him do it, I guess.
So with advantage again?
And I
Yes.
cast guidance again.
Would this now be an acrobatics, an athletics check since he has a tool?
I feel like that would be a reasonable argument, though I will say, just sticking a crowbar in doesn't seem all that athletic. What are you doing that's athletic about this crowbar usage? Feel free to get creative.
Oh, sure. So I think I'll be, wedging it in there as per normal, but from there I go into like a full power squat and just crank on this crowbar with all of my might and hope to God that it doesn't break.
There we go. So let's see it. We've got the guidance for the D4. We got the strength for the advantage. We got the crowbar helping you. And that
20!
is
Yeah!
gonna do it.
Oh,
Which is
yes.
probably exactly the DC.
That is probably exactly what you needed. So with a horrible grinding noise and a really wet sort of pop, the grate opens up and you're greeted with just a huge wave of hot, wet steam. Yes, we have the dwarf working hard in the sauna. I'm sure that smells just wonderful.
Yeah, steamed, sweaty dwarf.
Steamed.
Just the
sweet
best
dwarf
smell for
is-
this. Well, it might be better than the rest of the cake.
There are so many things happening here. So
Place is gonna stay upwind from the dwarf.
well, there's a problem. The wind keeps shifting every 30 seconds. It's in, it's out. There's really no upwind to hide from.
You know what? I have a spell that I can cast unendingly every 6 seconds that can affect sense of smell.
There we go. So
Just, it doesn't look like anything. It looks just like she's just kind of like waving the steam away. It's like
Just a perfumed handkerchief.
and then it smells like gardenias.
There we go.
Are you just like prestidigitation?
Prestidigitation.
That's a very good idea. Waverly might copy that.
Out of character, you could just clean up the dwarf, but I mean, you could just use it on
But
yourself.
we're about to go
Obviously,
into it's gonna. I would have to be doing that constantly, and this is just so much easier.
Prestidigitation lasts. It's not like you just
like
make
that's
him
true. Like
smell
for an
better.
hour. Like that's I would literally do his entire body 1 cubic foot at a time.
I mean, it's not that many cubic feet, so.
All right, so you guys should be
Then
seeing...
it would get like way too intimate, and I'd be touching you in weird
Yeah,
places.
no, that's fair.
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't want to touch
met
Mord
you.
either.
We just met you.
To be fair, prestidigitation has a range of 10 feet. Doesn't have to be touch.
That's still really intimate.
I think what someone is really trying to say is like, would you please Febreze the damn dwarf?
Whoop. All right, hang on.
Some of us don't have prestidigitation.
There's 3 of us here that do.
I know. I was talking about myself.
I just think it's great that why am I the one who has to do it?
I mean, there's some truth to these questions.
Don't mind me, I'm just a smelly dwarf working in these tunnels. I don't mind the smell.
All right, so you guys should be seeing a big black screen, and down towards the bottom middle, you should see a little cube of light and a stairwell in that cube.
Oh,
And
there it is. I had to zoom all the way up.
Yep. Gotta do a little
This
dancing
is
around
one of them
here.
really big maps, ain't it?
It is one of them really big maps. And all right, Casey.
Did you say maps or bap?
maps?
Big baps.
Maps. So
I
okay,
heard
Casey,
maps, too.
we're gonna do not using the wrong one again. We're gonna go to the right people. We're gonna start dragging people.
Oh my
down.
god, where did you get that? I'm sorry, I'm looking in the chat channel.
Uh-oh.
I edited it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's
That's good.
really cool.
That he should keep that look. He looks great, honestly.
It looks very in character,
Right? You gotta get some glasses on there, and he's perfect. Anyway, you were.
Yep.
Oh,
we're
see,
dropping
I was-
icons.
I was distracting long enough for some things to happen.
Yeah,
Okay.
vamping while I get my stuff in order here. And where'd you go, new guy?
You put them in the others.
There's
He's
Mord.
not an
I don't think he
owl.
has a picture.
No picture for Mord. Mord the dwarf is gonna need a picture here. All right, let's see if we can do a quick dwarf picture. Your real one shortly.
Athy, do you mind if I share the picture with the Twitch chat?
Go for it.
Also, I'm echoing again.
Yeah, that hair looks matted enough to be Mord.
All right, you are the bearded dwarf from Roll20's Fantastical Faceplates.
Mm.
And let's give you control over the bearded dwarf. You are going to represent Mord. And that is going to be hit points, so I can see hit points. Save changes. And do me a favor and try and move Mord around a little bit. Yay, Mord moves. Okay. So, and I thank you all for bearing with me as I do technology. So let's come back over here. Let's check this out. Let's look at that. Wow. Twitch chat, chatty when I can't see. Thanks for that. Hey Casey, look at Twitch. Raiders of the Lost Ark face melt. No, we did not make them face melt today. We're going to make them face melt very soon, though. That is 100% works.
So what you're saying is that we should just make sure to keep our eyes shut when we open boxes.
That is probably
I
a
don't think
good
Dawn has
idea.
enough left to melt off.
I mean, there's some stuff. So, you open that grate, and you see a staircase spiraling down. The staircase is badly rusted, but it appears to be sturdy. The air inside the passageway is warm, humid, and rather foul. You reach the bottom of the stairs with a splash. The floor is submerged beneath a foot of water.
Ooh.
Oh,
It's like waist high for Waverly.
It is.
It
Oh my
is.
god.
That water, though.
Waverly, do you want to ride on Valandra's shoulders?
Yes, please.
Okay, so let's just take a moment to appreciate this water.
let's not.
No? Okay.
Assess the sewer.
No, we don't need to appreciate anything about this water.
Don't need to appreciate anything about this water. Okay, so I think we've picked up on what the water might be like.
Ugh.
So let's go ahead and crack open a little space. Heading away from you, a hallway. Now, the passage you're in is carved out. It's about 10 feet high, save where the spiral staircase goes. About a foot of water covers the floor, and it's difficult to see through, save for Valandra, who's just fine. What would y'all like to do?
Is Waverly able to search for traps from my shoulders?
I am going to assume you guys are searching for traps and doing all such things at all times. So,
Okay.
For those of you who have played other editions of D&D, there is a passive wisdom score, so passive perception, is in play for you guys at all times without needing to specifically declare things.
All right,
Excellent.
cool.
There are a few things that you're going to be like, well, I was checking for traps, and I'm going to be like, yeah, you didn't find this one. Because that's kind of baked into it. But generally, that's not going to be something that gets you more than once. And you have a fair chance of finding that. But at the moment, you just have a foot of water, 10-foot long, 10-foot high passage, heading away to the east. A lot of volcanic rock around you. And I need to ask if you guys are heading to the east to put yourselves in the order that you might want to progress.
Dawn's in the back.
Yeah, I was gonna say Dawn and Telaise probably behind.
Telaise
The dwarf and
makes
the
it a
Genasi.
point to let the dwarf know that she never goes first.
Does she not?
She learned that lesson a while back.
Nice to meet you, dwarf. You're going in front.
Valandra
I
will
didn't
go
expect
even with him.
anything else.
Have you got your red shirt on? Good. All right. As you peer down the hallway, you can see some distance ahead. It bends away to the north. We're going to say that distance is about 70 or so feet for some reason. You don't detect any problems, any traps, any sorts of difficulty other than slogging through this 2-foot deep water.
All right, well.
Sploosh, sploosh. Drip, drip. Whoosh. Prrr.
What?
Sploosh, sploosh. Drip, drip. Prrr.
There's nobody purring in this situation.
You know, it's funny that you say that, but pause for just a moment. Because
Okay.
you guys have met a creature that purrs real loud not long ago. And
I think Waverly and the dwarf are dancing.
I think so, yeah.
I did see a little cha-cha happening there.
Having some token confusion. It's fine. It's fine.
It's fine. It's fine. It's all fine. So Valandra, as you round the corner and you're like, I swear I hear purring, and everybody's looking back at Dawn, you realize no, it's not Dawn. A little
Glares
ahead.
back at everybody.
Have we ever heard Dawn purr?
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't think that's a thing we assume is Dawn.
Really? Dawn doesn't purr? Okay.
Dusk
Oh
might.
no.
So,
Oh no.
Ooh.
seated at an intersection of
Is
4
that a
hallways
sphinx?
is
Oh,
a sphinx.
no.
Oh my goodness.
Oh,
Oh,
I'm
dear.
so middle ground on riddles.
This majestic creature, this epic, amazing beast, looks pretty mangy and bedraggled, actually. It's just not built for sitting in a foot of water in a humid area. It's built for deserts. So its wings droop. Its hair is kind of tattered. You can see just, it's not happy to be here.
Aw, poor thing.
But it looks at you, and you can see a little glint come into its eye, and its feathers fluff up a bit, and its tail lashes behind it. What all are you doing?
Valandra will greet the Sphinx. Hi there.
The last thing I expected to find.
Well, hello. Welcome. I wonder if you would do me a favor.
Yeah?
I do not wish to be here anymore, but I cannot leave until someone bests me in a riddle contest.
Ah, nuts.
We can do it, guys. Come
Okay.
on.
Would you be so kind as to engage me? Now, I must warn you, if you fail to answer my riddle correctly, I am obligated to consume you entirely in one bite. It's an impressive feat. I know you're thinking, how could this happen? But it is my speciality.
Telaise just kind of out of the side of the mouth to Dawn, like, this thing really likes to hear itself talk.
Just like
Mm.
like one of his ears just like flicks in agreement.
So it's very quiet, just like, yeah.
Now, I will need to ask, who among you would like to engage me in a riddle contest?
Mord looks around at everyone else that's not him. I'm not.
Telaise
I'll do it.
Hey, hang on. Telaise puts up her finger, like, just 1 second. We need to converge. And she literally pulls you all into a huddle.
All right.
All right. What if we all just say we all want to go in on it? Because I'm not okay with only one person answering these questions, because that could easily lead to all of us being eaten one at a time.
Sure.
I guess. I mean, if that, I'll volunteer.
If it lets us.
Yeah, that might not be allowed, but if it is,
Hey, here, let's give it a try. Okay, she pops up at the top of the huddle, and she's like, we would like to go in as a team.
Ah, a 5-course meal. Haven't had one of those in ages. I agree.
Oh,
Are you
that's
prepared
easy.
for your riddle?
All right.
Give us the riddle.
I could hope so.
All right. Now have a caution. I only
A what?
accept a caution. I only accept one answer. Be certain what you wish to give me, and do not ask any additional questions of me. Doing so is tantamount to admitting defeat.
Are we allowed to talk to each other before we give you our answer?
Of
Oh, yeah.
course, of course.
That's why we did
Okay.
it. That's
Is
As long
there
as
a
you-
time limit?
As long as you huddle up when you do so, and
Okay.
make it very obvious that you're not trying to answer. Be sure to turn your back to me. That's the wisest course of action.
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
yes, absolutely.
Excellent.
Don't look at the Sphinx.
Don't look at the Sphinx behind the curtain.
So, how did you know about the Wall of Force? And it reaches forward and taps the Wall of Force in front of it. Now, the riddle. Round she is, yet flat as a board. Altar of the Lupine Lords. Jewel on black velvet. Pearl in the sea. Unchanged, but e'er-changing eternally.
I know what it is. I know what it is.
Sounds like the moon to me.
After that,
Yeah.
like, do we have any?
Yes.
We say it's
No
the
disag-
moon.
The moon.
The moon.
Oh, thank you. I've had only idiots come through for the last several hundred years. Do you have any idea how frustrating it is waiting on an idiot to say the moon? Would you excuse me?
Really frustrating, actually.
We all knew it immediately. Who have you been talking to?
Dawn
Goblins.
feels like a quiet kinship with this.
Oh my god.
How did you even end up down here?
A long story. You see, an ancient wizard employed me. Our kind are well known for our love of riddle games and of consuming those fools who cannot answer. So I thought, well, what better thing to do than guard an ancient fortress of a powerful mage? He was a little disappointing, let's be honest, a bit, off. And over the years, fewer and fewer visitors dared his dungeon until none came save those who stumbled down here by accident or had the passcode. So,
There's a passcode?
well, of course.
Well, I guess this. I mean, is that a
But,
thing we should? No.
no. It's only for
Am I allowed to
VIPs.
ask you normal questions now that we've passed your test?
Oh, yes, I'm just going to pack up my things. I'm preparing to go. And you see him just putting his effects together.
Does he have a suitcase?
Yes, but it's waterlogged.
It's great.
It's
It's full of dress shirts that are just ruined.
it's more carpet. It's more carpet bag than a suitcase. But yeah, he puts in that little cane with the curvy top and the little one with the scarab on it. He's like, yes, I've been holding on to these for years. He's got his little. Well, he goes to put his little chew mouse in, and then he looks over at Waverly. He's like, I'll just put this back down over here.
Very sensitive. Very sensitive.
So, did someone with a password come by here in recent months?
Oh, yes, they come through all the time.
All the time.
Yes, I mean, it's a busy dungeon, needs supplies, fresh meat and all.
Do they happen to, like, wear, like, really shitty, ugly masks? Talk about dragons?
You see
A lot.
anything that looks like this? And I hold up the scabbard of the dragon. I have one of the cultist scabbards.
I think you guys are doing some investigating. Perhaps some investigations type roll might happen around about now.
I can do the roll.
I cast guidance.
I'll help.
Okay.
I know my role in this party.
We're all helping.
Advantage then.
Advantage and a D. Wowzers!
We super get an answer.
27.
Oh, you rolled the d4. Never mind. Okay.
You got it. Oh, were you interested? Some do wear masks as they come back and forth. Usually they've taken them off by the time they get down in the tunnel here. No real need to hide your identity from me when you're about to present your ID card.
They have an ID card?
Well, of course. You don't think we just have one system of passwords? ID card, there's the password, there's the phrase, fingerprint
pretty
box.
Has he
Pretty professional organization here.
has he seen the scabbard before or anything that looks like it?
I've seen something similar, but not quite that way. Not long ago, several rather fancy weapons were brought in, one of which had a scabbard similarly decorated, but I don't think it was quite the same. More deathy.
Where did they put the fancy weapons that you're talking about?
Unfortunately, I am confined to my spot here, or I was, until you so cleverly answered my riddle. Good job, you.
Do you know what direction they went with it?
Well, they went that way, and that way, and that way. And he points back along.
There are 3 weapons and 3 paths, I mean.
Yes!
Hey,
You've
you
put
never
it
know.
together again. You are so clever. Well
You
done.
never know. If they, I mean, I gotta ask. The password, is it password 1?
You would have hoped so, but they didn't even add the 1.
Oh god, it's password? Oh, goodness.
Oh, they really are dumb.
Well,
I'm so sorry.
a lot of them are undead. Their minds just fall out eventually.
Undead.
Oh, yes. Very popular.
Right.
Excellent servants. Don't need benefits. No health, no
sure.
medical. Life insurance is laughable.
Life insurance?
Unlife insurance.
Undeath
Unlike-
insurance?
Life insurance.
I feel we've strayed from the topic of the adventure. So he finishes packing up his little travel case and snaps that
these
together.
undead you were mentioning,
Yes.
did they have a mind, or were they just the minions of somebody who was still alive?
Some from column A, some from column B.
You didn't happen to see a giant ogre magi that has a bunch of undead, possibly with a hideous set of chainmail armor?
That I did not, and I'm not sure I ever have. Where have you been traveling?
Around. just curious. Thought I'd ask.
Yes, I was hoping to find some places that I might avoid, but around is a bit vague. And he continues packing up.
God, well, she probably isn't around anymore. I mean, they did just jump off a bit
I mean,
north,
she's probably
heading east by now.
yeah.
You never know. Clues.
If you ever head to the east, do look me up. I'll be swooping about killing villagers or something. Thank you. Have a great day.
What's your name?
Oh, it's Sphinx.
Well, it's nice to meet you, Sphinx. I'm glad you get to go home.
I am too. I haven't
Rolls
been
the
there
size
in
of that.
centuries.
Where is home?
East.
Well, have a good trip.
Is it around the area of the White Palms?
You know it?
We'll be heading there eventually.
Will you?
Oh, maybe we'll see you again.
Keep an
I
eye
do
out
hope so.
for giant blue ogre magi in ugly chainmail armor, because
Well,
you know.
if I encounter them, I'll be sure to give them a little more suitable riddle.
Hard to miss, to be honest.
She's very hard to miss. She
Yes.
hardly misses.
Except when she's invisible.
One of those.
Yeah. One of those.
Tricky them.
But maybe we'll look you up here in a couple of months. We'll be heading your way.
I look forward to seeing you and perhaps eating you.
No, thank you. I mean, no, thank you.
Well,
Well, it was nice to meet you.
Not the way you mean it.
and with that, the Sphinx begins trundling along, its little suitcase held in its mouth.
He's got a hat on, doesn't he? He's got a little hat on.
It's more of a crown, really. It's got some gems to it. And there's a little bit of awkwardness, like, oh, excuse me, pardon me.
Are we all glad that
if I could
Dusk
just
wasn't here?
get through. Thank you.
Yes. God.
I love Dusk and I want her to be around, but right now this is not the time.
This
There.
is not a Dusk situation.
There may have been some complications if Dusk was involved in this particular situation, but I'm sure it would have been fine. Moving forward, you do find that there was a division, a wall of force that was causing slime not to build up on the walls. That has now fallen, and the Sphinx has passed through. You can see several passageways opening up ahead of you to the northwest, to the northeast, and straight north. And give me a moment, and we'll get some of that revealed for you here. Da-da-da.
Can't be in the wall, Waverly.
Not yet.
Someday. Someday. she's gonna-
Someday.
She'll phase through walls again.
I mean, that did happen.
There is a phase through wall spell, isn't there? Like,
I believe there's a pass wall spell, if that's what we're going for.
I mean, there are several ones that could be described that way. I don't know which one you're talking about in specific.
I don't know that I'm talking about a specific one.
Okay.
All right. So, a ways to the north, a ways to the northwest, a ways to the northeast, passages await. Heading to the north, you can see the passage opens up to a larger room. To the northeast and the northwest, as far as you can see, they continue on for quite a ways. I think all of you are limited to 60 feet at the most?
Yep.
Yep.
Dark vision.
I guess I should probably light my sword on fire. Or
Yeah, 60.
Well, Valandra has her thing.
Yeah,
Or
I can just uncover my holy symbol around my neck that's has continual flame cast on it.
I can also cast light on something, so
If we want to be bearing light, I don't know. But I guess we don't have dark vision, so
no.
that would be
I'm gonna
difficult.
cast light on my sword.
Light casting on
And
sword.
I'll uncover my holy symbol.
Sounds
That
good.
way we can see where we're going.
Plenty of light.
Question: is this session ending at 8, or are the people who needed to end at 8 not here, so we can go longer?
We're gonna wrap this one in 25 minutes, which is 9 for me, 8 for other people. So we'll wrap up at the normal time for this one, and then we will discuss whether later ones can go a bit longer or shorter, depending on how everyone's schedules go.
Okay.
I can't really go that late.
No.
I have to write a proposal for a paper.
All right.
You have to propose a paper?
Yes.
Just propose. I'm gonna write something to propose writing something.
Gah.
Yeah.
Welcome to bureaucracy.
That sounds like busy work.
It's dumb.
It's dumb. Just write the paper. Just let me write the paper.
Apparently, my professor wants to know what I'm writing about before I can actually write about.
Well,
Can't you just be like, I'm gonna write this?
seems
Well,
reasonable.
apparently I need to stretch that out to 250 words. So.
Are you freaking kidding? That's an app. Oh my god.
All right.
Anyway,
So-
do we want to go for right to left, guys?
Sure.
That sounds like a good plan.
I don't have any particular.
I got some dice if you wanna just roll that. It seems just as good.
One of those fancy 3-sided coins.
No, they're just some dice. I carved them myself out of bone.
How'd you manage their weight?
What are you gonna roll on? There's a foot of muck on the.
I mean, we could probably find something. We have bags. We could roll in a burlap sack, and don't ask about the weight. It's mostly equal.
Guys,
No,
mostly, yeah.
I'm not.
Mental note: do not gamble with.
Seems
It
like
doesn't favor
Mord
any-
might be
any number,
using
it's just-
shaved dice here. So that still leaves us with the options: northwest, north, or northeast. Which way and who is heading?
So Telaise suggested we go from right to left because we're probably gonna have to hit them all.
That sounds like a good plan to me, for what that's worth.
After that suggestion, Valandra will start walking forward.
Okay. So as Valandra starts walking forward, if everyone could kind of scoot along behind, and if I could ask for a fateful die roll, and this is not a d20 because we're in a dungeon, and dungeons get other things. If I could ask someone to roll me a d12.
I got it.
I'm sorry, I rolled it.
How'd
Ninjas.
you do that so quick?
She was on it.
We'll have more rolls, I'm sure.
There will be rolls. So you continue making your way along the hallway. As you proceed, you can see to the north and to the west, the hallway bends around, moving more sharply to the west. And if I can ask everyone to hold still, please, now.
Okay.
Because a thing may happen.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun,
Oh wait, I'm trying to. I'm still on Valandra's shoulders. Hold on. Okay.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
A thing.
Valandra, Waverly, everybody. What am I seeing here?
What are you seeing?
That's
here?
what I'm seeing here. Okay. Mord, you are up in front. And Valandra and Waverly and Telaise. Would everyone... Waverly, are you being carried still?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So Mord, Valandra, and Telaise.
Yes.
How are you doing today?
I don't know.
I'm
You
doing
tell
just
me.
fine, thank
How
you
am I
very
doing?
much.
You tell us.
All right. So, Mord, Valandra, and Telaise, you're standing in a foot of water. It's hot water. Your feet feel weird. Most people don't wear shoes in the bath. A few people do, but not a lot. And you realize suddenly that it feels a little less weird. It feels like a normal bath where you weren't wearing shoes. And then it feels a little like, oh my god, this burns.
Is the ground around here like greenish?
One would say that under the water,
Possibly greenish.
under the water, the ground
Slimy.
around here could be greenish and slimy.
Oh dear.
Damn it.
Oh dear.
So, now the good news is, Waverly, you're up in the air.
Yeah.
The bad news is, other people aren't. So, as the green slime eats away at your boots and leaves your bare feet surrounded by the slime, I'm going to need to ask Valandra and Telaise for DC 10 dexterity saving throws.
I have less than a 50% chance of succeeding this. Ah!
Here we go. All right, so you can see where that giant patch of green slime is splayed out, and Mord repeats it's not on his end, and Dawn repeats that his already hairless feet have not yet started to sizzle. So you can choose which direction you wish to jump, if you wish to jump, or you could start trying to fight a slime that is underwater and currently unseen.
Hoo boy.
Was that 6 like damage that we took or something?
That was your
Or-
boots sizzling away.
Ah, okay.
It did enough damage to sizzle away some boots.
Alright.
Man, I think I established at one point that Waverly doesn't wear boots.
Waverly does not, and I'm not sure Dawn does either.
No.
So the right people were in the muck.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm making an assumption here. Let's not make an unfair assumption. Mord, do you wear boots? Or did you wear boots?
He did wear boots.
Okay.
Yeah, he was wearing some form of boots.
I
So-
thought they weren't
covering.
nice boots.
So the
Very
entire
generic shoe covering.
the entire party has been rendered bootless at this point.
Yeah, I
Isn't
will
it
attempt to jump
really-
towards Mord.
Okay.
Is that
Sure, absolutely. Go ahead and move yourself.
okay? You move like 1 square further so I can get actually out of the slime. Thank you.
Could you just
I'm
let
holding
me
on.
have the
Still
slime?
holding on.
I'd like to not be in the slime now. All right.
Dawn, you
is-
might want to fly.
No, he has a climb speed. He's just going to scrabble along the wall and like get over here.
The walls don't
Very
look
nice.
slimy, do they?
The walls are slimy, but not green slimy.
Scrabble, 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 scrabble.
So Telaise, everybody looks back at you.
Because they all went forward, of course, and I have really no choice but to go forward. How does jumping work? I mean, I've only jumped once. It was literally at the beginning of this entire campaign.
You could jump as number of feet equal to some calculation that I can't remember offhand.
That's okay. So this is actually going to turn into an athletics 10 DC. So it is a combination of jump and belly floppy swim. Because as long as you can stay kind of on top of the water, the slime won't get you. Maybe. So if I could have a DC 10 athletics check.
Hang on, I'm trying to think of a way I can acrobatics this instead.
Sure. I'm willing to hear it.
How wide is this corridor?
It's about 10 feet wide. About 10 feet wide, about 10 feet high.
That's maybe a little too wide to like parkour across the walls.
Back and forth.
Yeah.
That'd be a heck of a jump. That actually might make it more difficult.
Yeah, that would probably be a lot harder to
Yeah.
do.
If it was a 5-foot corridor.
If I had stopped further down.
Yeah.
Because honestly, here's the thing. If it's an athletics check, I might as well just back up and let you guys do whatever you're going to do and hang out, wait for you, because I ain't going to make it.
It's DC 10.
You'd be fine. What could go wrong? I mean, what could go wrong?
Anything Casey wants to go wrong, that's what could go wrong.
No.
Oh.
I mean, if you fail, it's probably just going to be a D10 of acid or whatever, which I can heal easily enough.
All right, well, I guess I got to give this a shot.
Alrighty. DC 10 athletics.
Holy crap.
Yes! It's probably not your most graceful moment, but you do span the distance and manage to splash and splush your way across without taking any additional acid damage. The green slime just sits there, waiting for
I
people
suppose
to walk
anyone
into it.
has the mending cantrip.
I do not.
Surprisingly, no.
The person who had mending cantrip is not with us.
I have mending.
Do you? Can
I
you
do.
mend my shoes?
Is there anything left to mend, or did it turn into pudding as you were walking?
They've been.
Do we-
There's a lot of puddinging. So you think maybe with mending and a little extra leather and a little help, you might be able to recover it. But for the moment, you guys are barefoot.
All right.
Because that is not a single tear. That's it eating away by acid.
So just so you guys know, the entire rest of this time, she's going to be bitching under her breath.
Because this is like your blue.
These are
armor
my
boots.
shoes. These are my good boots. I had them specifically made, and now somebody's ruined them.
Somebody has ruined them. As Mord moves forward along the hallway, it does curve away to the east. You can see further down, there is another branch heading north. Another corner. That's not how light works. Another corner and a turn as the hall heads south.
Maybe south first? I don't know.
South loops back towards where we were, so
So
Yeah.
so it seems like there's going to be less continuation south.
yeah, exactly.
Is the water moving in any particular direction? Is it flowing towards any destination, or is it just
Ooh.
stagnant?
Very good question. How about a little perception check for me? I'll even allow an investigation if you choose. So 13, because you didn't have advantage. I didn't hear anybody yell they were helping. Because for some reason, when you come up with a good idea, nobody wants to help you out.
It didn't seem
no,
like a thing where he was asking.
That's
like
fine.
He wasn't
asking the
like
DM.
he was not saying. He was
That's
asking
fine.
you. He was not saying it out loud to us.
You got it. So after a little bit of perceiving, you're like, it's moving, but between all of your companions sloshing around and you yourself, you can't really tell which way. It's not perfectly still because otherwise, it would just be glassy. But which direction is eluding you?
Alrighty. Alrighty then.
That's really odd behavior for water. I just want you to know that.
So moving
Well,
forward? or-
nothing to it but to do it.
Sure. Being trudging through again, still that foot of water, splish, splish, splish. And as you approach, you can see a little bit further up the passageway to the north. That's not how that's supposed to go. Technology troubles abound. Another hallway leading away to the north. Quite a long one.
Valandra, by the way, is completely unbothered by being barefoot in this water.
Valandra's just trucking along. Now, you guys can just make out from where you are that this hallway has a definitive end to it. A doorway.
Let's look at the other one.
You say that, but I don't see you moving. This one heads away to the south. Again, a nice long tunnel that ends in a doorway. The doors themselves, from the distance, you can just make them out. They look warped, swollen. They're made of wood, and obviously not designed for the conditions that they're being kept in. And Valandra, as you start making your way down the hallway, I'll ask for everyone to pause and someone to roll me a d12. It's fine. Everything's fine. There's a doorway. That doorway awaits you.
Wow.
All right. You've brought yourself up to a doorway. You can see that the door itself is swollen and twisted in its frame. This isn't going to be an easy one to open. It doesn't look like it's locked, but it looks like a lot of brute force may be required to yank it open.
I will possibly assist a dwarf in doing that.
Hey, drowned one. Mind helping me out here?
Sure, and I will cast guidance.
Our tiny powerhouse.
27.
Wowzers.
That door is opening.
That
Door's
door...
not-
I think
door
the
breaks
door's
through
behind us now.
That door does indeed pop open.
How open?
That's
Don
nothing.
is going to use his Eldritch
Turn
Sight.
order
and
open?
Turn order
Detect-
open.
I was gonna say, like, Don's gonna, like, have detect magic on just, like, generally forever.
Oh
While they're
boy, is
down
there
here.
magic happening. So you
Gonna
detect
hang out down here a little bit.
you detect a great deal of magic. What's the range on detect magic again?
30 feet,
30
I
feet?
believe.
Let me double check. It's the one that he.
It might
yeah,
be
there's-
60 feet.
It's. I don't think. Yeah, it's not any different because it's the. I have it where the normal one.
30 feet.
30 feet.
Yes.
Okay. So, from the distance, you can see the glimmer of magic coming from this room. In the room, suspended from the ceiling by wire are 9 silvered glass spheres, each about 2 feet in diameter.
Hmm.
The room is otherwise fairly empty. The
I
room,
would
about 30 feet square, waits for you.
I would like to touch one of those using Mage Hand.
You touch those using Mage Hand.
And it doesn't do anything. It doesn't explode.
I mean, are you applying force to it? Like, are you just like, I'm not touching you?
Gentle caress.
A gentle caress.
A gentle caress. A gentle caress does cause it to sway slightly on the wire that it's suspended from. So now you've got 8 still silvered balls hanging down and 1 swaying slightly.
Now, in the game, are they each a different color, or are they all silvery?
They are all mostly silvery, but you can detect a slight trace of color coming from each one.
No thanks.
Okay, just like a sheen.
Just a slight sheen to it. It's got that kind of like oil slicky look to it. And
No
as
thanks.
long with that oil slicky look, as you're looking up towards it, you can kind of see your own reflection in them all stretched out and weird. You know, your nose looks super big, your ears look super... Oh, no, wait, you're just a dwarf.
Yeah, that's how it normally looks.
Oh, that's not nice. Why would someone say that? But no, that you got that
So
weird distortion look going.
They're opaque. We can't see anything inside of them.
They are opaque and reflective.
Try using that mage hand to do something else with it.
So they're all magic.
They are all radiating magic.
What school of magic?
They are all just radiating magic, actually.
Okay.
That's unsettling.
So, and you're fairly familiar with such magics, and you know that that sort of magic would indicate that it is obfuscated in some way.
I could cast a spell into the room. I'd have to pick one of the orbs in particular, but I could probably hit any of them.
And there's no writing, we can't see any traps in the room, or...
You do not see any traps in the room.
We could try shooting one with an arrow.
Sure.
Maybe back up a little. See, the dwarf knows.
Sorry, my roll 20 is being slow.
Nope, that's fine. Take your time.
Do you want to do it, Waverly, or do you want me to do it?
You can do it.
I will. Okay.
So she'll just target the one that's right there. The
Okay.
Front and
easiest
center.
one.
Front and center, okay. And what are we doing? Shooting it with an arrow?
Gonna shoot it with an arrow.
Okay. Please roll me an attack roll. 24 is plenty strong. Excuse me. And 6 points is enough to shatter that sphere. And from within, you see a scroll, bound parchment, start to fall towards the green, icky, horrible water. Falling alongside the scroll.
Mage hand.
Okay.
Yeah, I was
Falling
gonna say-
alongside the scroll is a key.
Ooh.
Get them both, Waverly.
Ooh, get them both, Waverly.
I'll grab 'em.
Good.
I will grab those.
Okay.
Mage hand.
All right. Now, I believe you're the special kind of mage hand, which has the ledger to the dead thing.
Ledger
Ledger
main?
Ledger main.
was that?
That's your man.
Ledger main thing. Legitimate.
The special
That
mage
thing.
hand.
That thing.
Legerdemain.
Liquor domain.
You know what I mean? Yes, I believe you might have that thing. So let's see what this thing allows you to do. You can stow an object. All right, that's fine. Retrieve an object. Use thieves' tools. Okay. All right. So everything I'm seeing on there says an object, not an pair of objects.
Oh.
The scroll is going to be more damaged by the water than the key is.
Yeah, I'll grab the scroll and go back for the key.
Okay.
Grab the scroll, bring it to me, and then go back to get the key.
All right. So your mage hand snags that scroll and starts pulling it in towards you. The key goes bloosh as it lands in the water. And the dwarf starts moving forward.
I will go look for the key.
Yeah, let Valandra look for the key, because she doesn't get hurt by acid.
Okay.
It's true.
So, as Valandra and the dwarf step into the room, and then a thing happens.
Oh, no.
Oh, good. Excellent.
And
Oh,
that
boy.
thing is the door, iron-bound and oak, that you threw open and smashed and insulted. Swings back shut. A huge spray of water going up. And that's what we're going to call it for this evening.
Well, Jesus.
We'll pick back up next week with the party slightly separated. Dawn, Waverly, and Telaise now looking at a freshly acquired scroll. Valandra...
Can I at least see what the scroll is before we finish?
I'm betting they each have keys and only one of them works.
Maybe. So, we'll find out about all that a little bit later as Waverly glances at the Scroll of Fear.
Well, that's kind of cool.
Hey, we've got someone who can do message, so we can communicate through the door.
Sure can.
Yeah.
So, thank you all for playing. Jacob, thanks for joining us. And looking forward to having you in for a couple more sessions here as we pick up and run. Obviously, we're now in the dungeon, and we have begun facing encounters. So when we pick back up next week, we'll be moving a little quicker and staying a little more in character throughout. If anybody comes up with any questions along the way, feel free to let me know. I think the streaming mostly worked, aside from my major confusion points halfway through. Twitch. Looks like we're good. Oh, hey, where's that? That is a really good picture of a horribly burnt cat. Very nice. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and shut down the Twitch stream. Thank you all. We are going to save experience awards probably till the end of the module because I don't feel that you will level up within it. But if that becomes a possibility, we will check it out from there. But at the moment, the Sphinx is the challenge that has been defeated. The green slime, not really 100% defeated right now. It's still waiting to burn your feet on the way back out. And there wasn't a whole lot of experience for that silvered ball. It was just hanging there being defenseless.
Well, you don't know. It could have exploded. They looked like they all had magic in them because they're all different colors.
They look pretty suspicious, honestly.
I mean, what would be suspicious about a wizard's, dungeon full of glowing silvery spheres? I mean, you couldn't make a movie franchise out of that.
I do love how, because we were mostly being cautious, we've now trapped 2 of the party members in a challenge probably designed for the entire party.
It's fine. Everything's fine.
But
no problem.
Nothing's on fire yet.
But to be fair,
if
if 2 of us had to be trapped there, this is probably the right 2.
The best 2, because you might be able to force your way out.
Well, and because we have hit points.
You have hit points.
Hit
you
points
do.
are important.
Icon store.
Hit points are very important. So I hope everybody's having fun. We'll pick up again next week about the same time. If anybody has any questions along the way, feel free to shoot them over, and we'll run with it from there. All right, shutting down the old stream, hitting the button. Lost the button. There's the button.